a freaking IKEA chair.
As you know, I'm a huge fan of Dune. I have 3 Dune popcorn buckets. I have played every game that Dune has ever had in terms of video game. There was the strategy game, which came out on Sega Genesis. I played it. It's great. There's one of those like point and click adventures. Love it. But there we go. A new video game is coming out, Dune Awakening. It will be on Steam plus PS5 and on Xbox. And it's an open world MMO on Dune. You wear a still suit, you go out, and a new trailer dropped. And we're going to take a look at it. And I have some comments. Alan, you might need to mute me, but
yeah.
Let's take a look at this trailer. It's a couple minutes short, but let's watch it together because I have thoughts. Here we go, Alan. You ready?
Yes.
The only peace I find is a future that never happened. One where I, Paul Atreides, was never born. I created the future until it created me. But I see a narrow way, a path that might have been. What if my mother had obeyed her orders and given birth to a girl? Everything would change. Dr. Yue exposed before his betrayal. A world where my father lives. House Atreides surviving the Battle of Arrakeen. Sardaukar deployed to protect the spice melange. A war of assassins spreading across the planet. Fremen exterminated. No Muad'Dib. No Lisan al-Gaib. No Kwisatz Haderach. All of my visions lead to horror. Except for this one. This one leads to you.
Well, there you go.
So you're saying that by making Paul Atreides a woman, that the Dune world becomes lame and gay?
No, I'm saying actually it is. I cannot believe they found a story way to gender swap Paul. Now, technically, it is actually part of the story in the sense that Jessica, which was Duke Leto's, Bene Gesserit wifeling. What do they call them? Consort, whatever. He regretted not marrying her. She was supposed to bear a daughter, which was going to marry Feyd-Rautha to merge the houses Harkonnen and Harkonnen, whatever. Harkonnen and Atreides were going to be merged into one great house. But he defied that because Duke Leto wanted a son, and so he had Paul. So I guess that's the reason they come up with that, we can gender swap Paul in the story. And they found a way to do that. But that's like retelling Star Wars as if Leia and Luke were switched, right? And Luke was Prince of Alderaan and Leia was a moisture farmer. It's, and you know what? I don't want to say that word that out loud because I feel like Disney would make that happen. That what if Leia was a moisture farmer on Tatooine and Luke was Prince of Alderaan and Senator Luke Organa. These are bad ideas. But I just thought, in the previous games I played of Dune, they pretty much make you it's a strategy game. You're mining spice. You could have just been a Fremen that was, joined one side of the war, right? Or they could have made you play a different character. I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, I hate to say it. It looks so cool. I'm going to play it no matter what. But the story aspect really bugs me. It bugs me because it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Alan, do you have thoughts?
Yeah. It's part of me is I maybe you feel differently about this, but the fan base of Star Wars is much bigger than the fan base of Dune. So let's say this was Star Wars. Let's say we did swap Luke and Leia. I would play that. I would play that game because I'm so intimately involved or understand that world. No, hold on. Let me just say.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I understand that world so much that if an MMO came along and they did that switch, the what if switch, I would probably be into it because I'm familiar with it, and I'd like to see that idea play out and maybe play along. Problem is I'm not a fan of Dune. I've never read the books. I've seen the movies. And this idea of gender swapping Paul Atreides means nothing to me. And for me to play a game, all that says is that the game I'm about to play has nothing to do with the movies I watched. And so I'm not interested in playing that game. I guess it's a good idea. I don't know enough to judge that. But I can't believe that there's a fan base large enough that will think this is a good idea and want to play a MMO based on this idea.
I think if I know Dune fans well enough, they're just happy there's a Dune game, right? Like this, and this does look really cool. What would have been better is if you played as a different house. You either picked House Harkonnen, you played Feyd-Rautha. So you're there, and it's basically battle for control of Dune, right?
Yeah,
so it would be Atreides, Harkonnen, pick a house and conquer the planet. A much
the thing is, I would play that game. Because I've seen the movies and I would probably understand what's going on. But if you're going to fundamentally change the story of the game or of Dune, I'm going to feel kind of lost.
Okay, but let me give an example. Anyone in the audience, I played all these games. I was addicted in the 90s to the X-Wing games. You had to, for your computer, you had to get the control stick.
Yeah.
I played X-Wing, B-Wing, all the missions, and then they came out with a game, and it was brilliant. This game, you can find cinematics online. TIE Fighter.
Yep.
TIE Fighter was the story of Star Wars from the point of view of the Empire. So you played the exact same missions that you played in X-Wing, but from the point of view of the Empire. You were there trying to kill all the rebels so they don't blow up the Death Star. You played other battles, but from the point of view of the Empire. The cinematics are great for that game. There was a better idea here. I don't love this, but if this is what I got, I'll take what I can get. So, but I'm still, I